believe that Mangaluru is an ideal destination for any IT company to come set base here.
If you have the right idea, they fund up to 50 lakhs.
Even being here in Mangalore, I'm sure the entire operations is smooth. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of the Kudla Podcast, where coast meets culture and commerce. A show where we unbox Mangaluru, one conversation at a time, an initiative by KCCI. I'm Athmika, Amin, and today we're going to ask a big one. Can Mangaluru become Karnataka's next IT powerhouse? Kicking off, we have two familiar faces, Shashir and Ashith. Shashir Shetty here, who is an engineer by education, salesperson by profession, and a sportsperson by passion. And we have Ashith Hegde, who is a supply chain professional and a multitasker, I must say. So guys, how's it going? And what is Bangalore like while growing up, Ashith?
I mean, I actually didn't grow up in Mangalore.
Okay.
And I grew up in a small village in Udupi district. But back then, Udupi and Mangalore all part of Dakshina Kannada district. Yeah. So for anything and everything used to come to Mangalore. But back then, it was more of, Mangalore was a place to visit. But 12 years back, I started calling it as home. Basically, my karma bhumi now.
Yeah. Something of Mangalore that is stuck onto you that you practice in your life or business?
I think that the small city culture, I mean, that closeness and, the attachment you have for people, right? That I think is interesting in everything. For example, even when when we run the company or when we solve problems for customers, that part of, the small city culture of, being that closeness and, being that personal connect is what, is still there. Yeah. So for us, everything is, we get so emotionally attached or, which is a typical small city culture.
Bonding.
Bonding, right? Bonding, that's the word.
Shashir, what do you have to say about how is it growing up?
I actually have a very similar story. I was born and brought up in Ahmedabad. My parents were in the bank, so they had transferable job. So when your parents are in a transferable job, a little bit of an identity crisis, right? So I was the Mangalorean boy who was living across the country. And as fate would have it, my parents got transferred to a place called Karkala, which is about 60 kilometers away. Again, then it was a part of undivided Dakshina Kannada. So Mangalore was still the hub that we would relate to. Very difficult transition, to be honest. But Mangalore was an emotion because when your parents are in a transferable job, anywhere I go, my identity is always that I am a Mangaluru boy. Yeah. And I think that's the strongest emotion or identity that I've ever carried.
Right. Yeah, I think that's something that we all can hold on to. And I see something that we all three have in common is that, we've been away and we've all come, back to the base and we've made this our home right now. Right. So, going back or thinking about it, like if you were 22 today, in today's Mangaluru, would you want to stay or leave?
When I was 22, and if you had asked me the question if I wanted to come back to Mangaluru, I would have said no. Mangaluru was always a 4-day city for me. Come, spend the weekend, attend a function, and go back. But today, I think I would stay in Mangaluru. In fact, if I can elaborate on it, so I moved to Mangaluru in 2021. Okay. Right? My friends had started a company called Niveus Solutions. That's a company that I'm part of right now. And there's always a question saying, would I join Niveus? I was so used to the city life in Bangalore, and I'm like, I don't think I can ever come back to Mangaluru, right? But now that I've settled here, I feel like I should have probably come back a little earlier.
Okay. Yeah. What is that one thing that you feel that you don't get in Bangalore that really, ticks marks that thing that, okay, Bangalore is your home right now?
I think what you get is time here. I think we are living in such a fast-paced world right now, and the only luxury is time, right? And Mangaluru gives time back to you, whether it's time for your family, whether it's time for yourself, or whether it's time to pursue things that you love. And I think that's a luxury you don't have in a bigger city, right? And then that's of essence for me.
Yeah, that's why they call like 10-15 minutes
city.
Yeah, definitely is. And I think similar with you, Ashith, I understand that, when you think about IT, most people in Karnataka think Bangalore is the place. Right. But you've chosen Mangaluru as your base for your company. What made you take that call?
One thing is, I always wanted to come back to Uru. I mean, when I say Uru, it's like the Udupi region, right?
Yeah.
And then I had an option to set up the company here in India. A lot of people advise go to Pune, Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai, wherever, right? But yeah, for me, I want to do something here close to family. And I feel very connected, right? So that's why I said we'll do it here. And the best part is this company, Arkieva, which I represent, right? So even in US and Europe, we are in a tier 2 city.
Okay.
So that close family culture was still there in the company. So it was very easy for me to kind of convince the management that, hey, Mangalore is a tier 2 city, same kind of culture, so let's set up here, right? Yeah, I think back then was very difficult in 2013. Very few opportunities, very few IT spaces.
Yeah.
I mean, things have changed now rapidly, right? Now you see a lot of this IT, big office like the Niveus ones, showcasing Mangalore. But yeah, back then it was difficult, but I think it was the right move.
How has it changed? Like, you must have seen the growth, right? What I understand is like, even being here in Mangalore, I'm sure the entire operations is smooth. So what are the advantages that you may have?
The main advantage I see is the attrition rate. I mean, you, at least, for last 10, 12 years that we've been here, the attrition is very, very less because people who join companies are also, our company also connected to Mangalore. As in, they find some connection to Mangalore, right? And that's why it's that culture, that is, I think, one of the best part. Plus also, like, Shashir said, the time. I always joke with my friends that, I would rather spend the 2 hours of commute time in doing something with the family or, in the office than, waste that there, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot has changed now. So it's not a problem to move to Mangalore.
What do you have to add on to it? Do you have a different story? I see some giggles.
Yeah, I actually have a slightly different story from the company that I'm working for right now, Niveus Solutions. Was founded by a couple of my friends. Shetty, who was the CEO, was my batchmate from engineering. In fact, we sat in the same bench together. And he always used to tell me, why don't you come back to Mangalore? So the joke is that when I got married, Suyog's wedding gift for me was an offer letter. He said, now that you have a wife in Mangalore, why don't you find a life in Mangalore? Why don't you join us? And to be honest, like Arkieva, we're doing some cutting edge work in the supply chain space. Jokes apart, Niveus was doing some cutting edge work in the cloud engineering space. They're an exclusive Google Cloud partner. And I said, I'm really not compromising on anything there because when you make decisions of moving from a tier 1 city to a tier 2 city, it's always a trade-off. What are you giving up?
Yes.
Right. And I said, I'm married. I have a more wholesome personal life. I am moving to a tier 2 city. I'm going to get more time for myself. I'm going to be closer to my parents. And then I'm doing a job. I mean, I'm at the forefront of innovation, right? I'm going to work for a company that is doing cutting edge work in cloud technology space. So really, what am I compromising? Right? I was not compromising anything. And then the only thing was, of course, social life. There were a lot more options in Bangalore. But then once I moved here, I realized social life was fairly decent here. In fact, there's a lot more to do from a social life.
I think the options are vast.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of proximity, a lot of like we have the beaches, we have the hills close by. So I think
the sports person in me has explored the newer sport opportunities. Right.
That is something that you've recently, like new skill sets.
I started stand-up paddling.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I think it also builds bonds outside of work because I think what happens in tier 1 cities is you're invested at work and you work together, but you don't form those bonds, right? And those bonds are very important to work collaboratively in the world. And I think that's what's happening with folks in Niveus. We play sport together. We do. There is a biking group, there is a trekking group, and there is a stand-up paddling group, there's a badminton group. You have time for so much. So there are so many bonds that are formed outside office, and you can literally see the impact of productivity at office because people work very well together.
I think when they're content, the productivity is even better.
Of course.
And with all that traffic nuances that they would have, they don't have that over here.
The frustration of traffic doesn't come into office.
Exactly.
So that human connect and that like you said, the collaboration actually improves when the connect is there. And everybody's a friend. Everybody, they hang out. It's nice. I mean, in the evening, there is people are not in a hurry to go back home, to beat the traffic or whatever.
It's a mix of a lot of different things, right? Yeah, I think even the food scenes are so good over here. people are very approachable. What about talent? Like in terms of IT, right? Do you have abundance or do you lack professionals?
Well, it's a mixture of both, in my opinion. We have a lot of entry-level talent, no doubt. The amount of engineering college around Mangalore, right?
Yeah.
The mid-level and the high-level talent is now getting here. We started off in 2013. 2015-16, I think we realized that okay, we need to hire some senior level, consultant for our company, right? So we got his resume from a recruiter guy from Kolkata, Bengali guy, and interviewed very good. And he came down here. I in fact took him to the Girimanja to have lunch because I wanted to sell Mangaluru, right? Because for him to move from Bangalore, he was in Bangalore.
Okay.
Big decision because he doesn't have any connect here.
Yeah.
So one connector is the fish, right? So I said, let's go to Girimanja. I mean, he was very happy. Made him an offer and he was happy with that. Then the next day he calls me and says he can't take the offer. And the reason is that because his wife was in IT and she doesn't find any opportunities in Mangalore.
Okay.
So that's when that kind of created that motivation that okay, this is if you want to grow that IT in Mangalore, just having this fresh graduates will not work. We need to bring in some big companies. We need to really bring in some big names so that the senior talent or the managerial talent and others come in, right?
Yeah.
And that is what we have been working very seriously from last few years. And right now we actually we see the big change even when we talk to people now to hire people. I mean, they Google, they see big companies. Niveus comes up, Novigo comes up. You have Tech Mahindra, you have all their system.
Yeah.
So people say, okay, there is some opportunity. So that hurdle is slowly, we are passing that.
So basically, you're saying the potential is there and the talent is also ready.
Right.
The question is only if we are paying attention to that, right? What do you think is required for us to actually, accelerate the entire IT growth in Mangaluru?
See, I think just to add to a couple of points there, I think let's put some numbers to. We produce about 10,000 engineers every year in this region.
Yeah.
Now, this is the entry-level talent that Ashith was talking about, and that's easy access. Right? But if you look at the last 25 years, which means we produce 250,000 engineers. Now, actually, number-wise speaking, only 50,000 are working for companies from Mangalore in this region currently.
Yeah.
There are another 15,000 who are probably working here, but remotely for some other companies. So about 65,000 of that 250,000 is here.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the question is, if you actually look at their profile, all of them are doing well in whatever field they're. And if you look at the middle management and senior management in some of the top companies, whether it's Indian companies or global companies, you will see a Mangalore. In fact, it is a part of our sales pitch.
Yeah.
So when we do a customer profiling, we look if any Mangalorean is on in the leadership team, right?
Yeah.
So can go and pitch the Mangaluru story to them and see if they want to outsource work to us.
Yes.
But it should be surprised at the number of people who are at the leadership group there, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you kind of convert them to call back? So I call this the non-political version of Ghar Wapsi.
Okay.
How do you get people to come back to
Mangaluru,
right? That remaining 200,000 people who are there. And I think what makes our talent unique is we may be one of the only few regions in the country where we speak English and Hindi as fluently as our mother tongue.
Yeah.
Right? And has got to do the strong foundation of our education system. So when families are thinking of moving to Mangaluru, you know that you're not compromising on education.
Yeah.
Like Ashith said, we just need to ensure, and to answer your question of what do we need to ensure accelerate growth, we need to ensure that people have more opportunities, because people are not going to make the decision to just move for one company, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's an Arkieva, whether it's a Niveus, nobody's going to make a decision to come back for one company.
Yeah.
They need to know that the family is going to be comfortable, which means education, which means the social infrastructure, which means if their spouses are working, do they have opportunities here? And all of those things are considered. And if let's say they're not happy with the companies that they joined, what are the alternatives that they have? So right now we have 240 companies, 240, 300 companies. We do our net outsourcing is about 4,000 crores for IT outsourcing from Mangalore alone.
Yeah.
Right. But then our goal is to ensure that we have 200,000 or 2 lakh engineers working out of Mangaluru by 2029-30.
KCCI had actually conducted a survey during COVID.
Yeah.
We actually sent to all the Mangaloreans who are out there, right? All in mid-level and basically in a mid-level or leadership position, right? So when we ask the question, if you have enough opportunities here from a work standpoint, will you be willing to come back? 97% said they want to come back, but they don't have enough opportunities.
That's a very big percentage.
Yeah.
Because
There's about 2,200 people that answer.
exactly. Yeah. So there is an intent of wanting to be back in your hometown.
Right. Yeah, sorry.
And I think that really adds value to our city.
Right.
It's just that I think in terms of how they get opportunity, like, are we doing anything about it? How are we going to make sure that people are aware of the kind of opportunities that are there? Is there something that we are forming to create more awareness?
There's a lot of organizations now working, together. In the past, we had, for example, KCCI had its own drive towards this. CI had its own, way. Then we had this Kadai, which is the builders association, and even the IT community, all were in their own silos. But for the last 3-4 years, we are seeing that everything is coming together. It's as one. You have Kadai people, pushing to build some IT parks, build some infrastructure. We have also the CIA pushing for industry academic connect as well.
Yeah.
KCI doing all these together. So there's a lot of. Last 2 weeks back there was an event called Tech Waves, right, where we were part of it, where you see all these different sectors coming together for one thing to develop ecosystem there. And if you, I think one of the things that was missing was good IT space, right? We were all in commercial buildings, here and there. It is not easy to scale. It was not easy to provide the best resources for the because see, what happens is when you say IT, right, people look at these big tech parks in Bangalore or Mumbai or Chennai, and integrated tech parks with all this place, nice canteens, nice cafeterias, nice breakout areas, really glass structure buildings, right? That mentality is there. Here, maybe about last 5-6 years back, you didn't find any such buildings. There's one good campus which is Infosys, which is about 25 kilometers from here, right? In the city, you didn't find anything.
Yeah.
But now, if you go around city, right, you'll see a lot of these IT ready buildings. Niveus now where they are, right? It's a very good building. Then we have Vertex, which already has 5 buildings now.
Correct.
When we did a survey also, one of the things we realized was the IT companies are asking, do you have infrastructure or do you want us to come first and then look at infrastructure?
So infra is not a problem anymore.
Not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
When we reached out to Accenture back then, 2021, one of our top guys in Accenture actually told us that when you're ready with some infrastructure, let us know and we'll think about it.
Yeah.
Right. And now we're seeing that puzzle is solved.
And that was how many years ago?
This is actually the beginning of COVID, 2020, 2021, I think.
So from 2021 to up to now, what is the increase in the number of companies that have moved into Mangalore?
It was 160 back then when I did that survey. Now, like he says, 240.
Okay.
More than
More actually.
It will be more.
Okay.
But more than that, it is the growth of the companies here. Like, for example, Niveus, I think they scaled up from 50 people to 900, right?
Yeah.
Novi from about 100 to about 1,000 people.
Okay.
So the growth has been tremendous for the companies here. Plus the kind of companies that is coming in, right? We recently saw that Bose Music Systems, right? They actually set up their first R&D center outside of US in Mangalore.
Okay.
We have a couple of Japanese companies who are coming here, which is not just in IT but core tech,
Okay.
So we have a lot of new age companies that's coming in here and creating that ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just going back to that point, you mentioned that Niveus has grown from 50 to 900. Shashir, could you just tell us how did that happen in terms of was the resources easy?
Sure. So, like I said earlier, Niveus is a cloud engineering company, right? So we solve for organizations' digital transformation roadmap on the cloud. So we are a Google Cloud partner. 2019 is when we started the Google relationship. The point I'm trying to make is it's not only talent, right?
Yeah.
See, because everybody talks the talent story. In India, the population is so high, every city has talent.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying it is the quality of work that the talent can do for you.
Yeah.
That's more important, right? So what added to, I think 2 things happened for us, which was external in nature. One, COVID happened.
Yeah.
So people were moving back to their hometown. So like Ashith said, entry level problems is never 0 to 4 years talent problem is the easiest to solve in Mangaluru, right? But 4 years back, the 4 to 10 years mid level talent was the challenge. COVID solved it for us. Whoever came back didn't want to go back, right? So we got a lot of mid level talent as well. The second factor is during COVID, adoption of cloud went up. So technology itself disrupted it. And third is tier 2 cities started becoming sexier during COVID. because you had low density population, better medical coverage per person. Places like Mangalore, where you have 15, 20, 25 medical colleges in a 20-kilometer radius, look at how secure you feel when a pandemic like that happens, right? So because tier 2 cities become sexier, we actually use that to our branding advantage. Saying one, we are doing cutting edge work because that's the quality of talent we have. And we can literally do high impact work sitting in the remotest part of the, or remotest, sitting in a tier 2 city, and we can solve for the largest enterprises.
Exactly.
And the second thing is we kept telling the tier 2 story so many times that we were saying, oh, there is this Google company, they're based out of Mangalore. And Google also saw the difference in the quality of work they did, which means they started working with us on more and more enterprise customers. And that is where the scale happened. So we grew from 100 employees in 2021 to we are about 1,100 employees now. So we grew 10 times both in terms of our employee account and our revenue as well.
So basically you're saying that Mangaluru was not a hindrance at all in terms of employment as well as reaching out to customer base from anywhere.
No, and in fact it actually added to, like you said, when customers come here, they are pleasantly surprised because it was a cosmopolitan city. And there are perceptions of Mangalore that people have formed, either saying it's a tier 2 city or whatever, their own stories of Mangalore. They come here, they're pleasantly surprised. In fact, there is a joke in the Google ecosystem that if there is a big deal to be closed, send the customers to Mangalore. The chances of closing a deal is higher. Like, so you took them to a route that used to cross through the beaches. And then we have a food route. Right. So we do the beach thing as well, but we ensure that our customers, when they come here, they get to enjoy the wine.
Decision making is to the stuff you can stop.
Fresh ice creams and chicken gyros and your fish and your amazing spread vegetarian food that you get here. So we have different strategies to deal success. Right. But the important thing is, one, get the deal and then deliver it. And our talent here does a fantastic job of delivering for our customers.
Yeah, I think
he missed a very important point that they built the most sexiest office of Mangalore.
Branding is a two thing. We have to brand it for customers. Now we also have to brand it for internally, right? Because one thing I realized at that point, and now decision making is very independent. Like, people need to hear about your company because families are involved in decision making. So we did this the Niveus Mangalore Marathon was one of the things. And then office also became a good thing for us to use that as a branding exercise. We encourage people to come to our office, see the culture that we built. We started working with colleges very closely. I think because the rental costs are so low here, right? You can actually spend on experiences. You can ensure that you can design the offices because your operations cost of running something in Mangalore is low.
It's low. Yeah. I think even in terms of logistics and everything, it reduces. So that really helps in giving the experience that is required.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a family that decides normally here at this part of the world. So the branding is very important. And I had this experience also in 2015 when I was hiring few people. A lot of people didn't join because they felt that our company is too small. We are not Infosys. They didn't have all the facilities available, right? But then we had to counter it with something else. But it just there's a constant thing to keep doing it.
So the only good thing now is that things have changed, right? Most kids are so well exposed right now. Even a 20-year-old, they make decisions. You'd be surprised at the number of 18-year-old, first year, second year students reaching out to us for an internship. Because they want to get exposed. So I think once, like, you can literally see the paradigm shift from a culture standpoint, right? Now that so many companies are come, there are so many options. People want to explore. Students are reaching out to us for internships. Students are reaching out to us for job options. People are making independent decisions themselves, and I think that is what has changed, right? Because I think Ashith was involved in building this brand for a very longer time. Like, I came in much later. But there's literally a paradigm shift in the way IT companies are perceived in this.
So do you see that a lot of these companies are having direct connect with the institutions that help in building the ecosystem for startups as well? And the entrepreneurial spirit over here is insane because the number of entrepreneurs from our region are much higher than anywhere else, I understand. So how is the ecosystem for startups as well, and how are the existing well-established companies supporting this?
So I think there are two types of startup drivers here. One is the colleges, like MIT, Manipal was one of the first ones to have a startup
Incubation centers.
Then we have NITK.
What is an incubation center?
Well, basically, if someone has an idea, if they want to kind of, work on that and, get into the next level of, whether it's a product or service, So the incubation center will actually help them, not just provide infrastructure, right? Basic infrastructure is you need like a good internet, you need a office space. That is one thing. But more than it, also will help you in mentoring. A lot of this incubation center will help in mentoring, so they can basically go from a startup to the next level, right? So that's the basic idea. So we have now not just MIT, right? You have NITK, NITK, Sayadri, all are very good state of the art kind of incubation centers where you have a lot of companies that came out in last 5 to 10 years. And that's one thing, right? So that is one of the drivers for startups here. The second thing is the COL, the Center for Entrepreneurship and Opportunity Learning, right? That is one thing that KCCI actually spearheaded. Basically, when Nirmala Sitharaman, she's the MP from Karnataka. From her MP-led fund, she actually funded this thing called COL, which KCCI actually was the facilitator, and also is one of the stakeholders, right? So there actually you see a lot of these startups, in a very subsidized rate because it's government funded. A subsidized rate, we have startups. We have a lot of companies who actually came out of that. They start with 2 people, 3 people, then they scale up and then they move on. So
and the funds, you're talking only about the facility, or are you also talking about funding the startup ideas?
So the funding of startup was not there about 3-4 years back. Until 3-4 years back, it was mostly bootstrapping and people just borrowing money, right? But from last 3 to 4 years, when this whole, like Shashir said, this whole ecosystem started changing, we see a lot of investors now coming in and looking at companies in Mangalore, which was not there before. So now we have a lot of events that goes on, right? For example, KDM, which is a Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, the Beyond Bangalore Mission. They have events where it's like Shark Tank, where they marry the ideas and and the investors. You have a CIA who's doing such events. We have TIE is another group of which actually helps the startup ecosystem. So they have people coming in, bringing in the funding mechanism to Mangalore. So that has now started. Plus, more than infrastructure, one thing is funding is one other thing, right? The most important thing, in my opinion, is the mentoring part. Because all these college kids, when they come out and when they have ideas, right? Everybody comes with great ideas, but how to scale it up, how to make it successful, and how to make their MVP as a real product, right? Those kind of things will come through mentoring, and that is now becoming very, very prominent here in Mangalore. Again, because of all the organizations that we have, plus the big companies that's come in and all the new companies that's coming, right? That ecosystem is overall now, helping the startup as well with all these other things. Yeah.
Ashith, I want to just ask you mentioned about KDM and Beyond Bangalore. So could you just elaborate a little more?
So during COVID, when governments, when we saw a lot of IT companies, people from Bangalore moving out to, their hometowns to, work from home, right?
Yeah.
There was this big drive to actually create satellite IT clusters.
Okay.
So that's when the government back then, they said they actually started a group called KDM, Karnataka Digital Economy Mission. It's actually, I think it's headed by the Chief Secretary of IT Ministry.
Okay.
As one of the seat in the board. And then it's actually professional run by a CEO as well.
Okay.
Right? So they actually started an initiative called Beyond Bangalore.
Okay.
What it means is they have identified 3 clusters: Mysore, Hubli Dharwad, and Mangaluru. Okay. Which basically forms this Beyond Bangalore clusters, right? And they incentivize these companies who actually come here, whether through rental reimbursement or all other help, single window clearance and those kind of things. And they're pushing companies now outside of Bangalore into these clusters. So
basically, these 3 cities that you mentioned, Mangalore being one of them.
Mangalore is one of them.
So basically, there are a lot of incentives, is what you said. Is that for the companies coming in?
Mostly for companies, and which translates to employees anyways, right? Yeah. So basically that's what it does. So and what it also does is for startups there are some initiatives, plus also for big companies who want to move their office from or who want to expand to these smaller cities. The incentives, like actually government will fund some of their initial capex and all that. So there are all these initiatives that's available. So because of that, we are also seeing there's a lot of drive towards these big companies from Bangalore opening satellite offices here in Mangaluru. One recent example is Tech Mahindra, right? Which Tech Mahindra has no bonding towards Mangaluru, right? But because of this push, marketing of Mangaluru, they set up a center here.
Okay, and that has been recently, you said?
About been a year, I think.
About a year,
Yeah, they're in the same building.
Okay. And do you already see a lot of other companies approaching and trying to understand if Mangalore is one of the bases that they can consider?
We were talking to in Vertex, the Tech Waves event that was there. We were talking to a couple of real estate, the real estate consultants.
Yeah.
They're saying on a monthly basis, they get about 300, 400 inquiries for setting up satellite centers in Mangalore. Even like just say centers in Mangalore, it could be for various kinds. They see an increased upsurge in kind of demand for, and it's not only Mangalore, I think it's this entire region.
Yeah.
It is Mangaluru, Udupi and around that region. They're seeing an increasing demand or at least increased leads, people exploring this region.
Yeah, so definitely you say that Mangalore deserves a spot in anybody's radar when it comes to be it an IT professional, entrepreneur. I think Mangalore is definitely a place that they can consider.
Always.
Yeah,
Always.
for sure.
So let's put it in perspective, right? We were always good at welcoming people. Right? Our education industry is the largest industry in the world, and we serve we serve the education industry serves people from so many geographies, including India and outside India, right? They thrive here and then go back and thrive wherever they're practicing. Medical tourism, like we have so many hospitals. Look at the inflow of patients that come to Mangalore every day from other states. But there have been a lot of initiatives that have been going on from the past, but they were disparate in nature. Right? People were doing different things to do. But I think what has changed is everybody's come together.
Yeah.
Your CII, your KCCI, your TIE, the political machinery, which is the most important thing, right? You have the state government supporting us with the Beyond Mangaluru initiative. You have the KDM supporting, that is a state government initiative. You have the current MP talking about a Back to Uru initiative. See, if you look at one of the disadvantages that we have as Mangaluru, we end up competing against, like, say, cities like an Indore or a Jaipur. They're all state capitals, so they have the entire political machinery behind them and branding that city, right? Saying if you're expanding from Delhi, look at Jaipur. If you're expanding from, let's say, Hyderabad, look at the cities around it. The whole state machinery is beyond that. What we didn't have is the state political machinery behind us. But now I think both the state government and the center government is completely behind making this extremely successful. So I strongly believe that in Mangalore would be the entire coastal area. We are on the cusp of something big, especially from a IT industry perspective. Like Modi said, time is here and now.
What are you predicting? You said 240 numbers, right? As of now, 240 IT companies. What do you see 5 years down the line?
We have I don't know if I have the right numbers, but there's a target.
There's a target?
Yeah, I think 2030, we want to, from 4,000 crore, we want to reach to 8,000 or 10,000 crore of exports. Software exports. 3 big MNCs or outside companies who are actually here. We want to make it to 36.
Okay.
We have 3 big homegrown companies with more than 1,000 people. Niveus, Novigo, and Dia Systems. We want to make it to, I think, 10. And I think from 15,000 professionals working in IT, we want to take it 50,000.
And at the moment,
200,000.
Our end goal is we want 2 lakh professionals working in IT in this region in the next 5.
That's the vision.
A lot of inflow of people coming in.
One is let's have the infrastructure ready.
I think right now we don't see that concern, right? Because what I understand is there's a lot of infra providers that are already working on plans. And I think it's just a matter of getting the connect. And that's what I think KDM and TIE does at this moment, because if there's any inquiry, they're trying to get in touch with the infra providers to see what is the requirement they have, and then within the certain number of years that they want to move in, and the total square feet that they require. And I think right now, it's a much better balance than what we see. And I think already there is a momentum, and we're only seeing that improvising.
Like the industry bodies now have fair representation with both IT leaders and your leaders from the infrastructure. Is a part of the thing. So the conversations, I think, are more well-rounded. I think the only thing that we need to get right, we have to build on this momentum. We have to capture, like we have to make the most of it, but we also have to plan better.
Correct.
Because otherwise, then if we don't get the planning right, and we don't get the planning now, then we'll have the same problem as other big cities in terms of congestion. And
Yeah. Well, that's why the other day when I was talking to MP, I was telling him that we need to focus on we shouldn't do the mistake that Bangalore did, right, in terms of infrastructure. So one of the things that we were discussing is maybe that entire stretch of the T stretch, which I call from Kulu to, let's say, Pumpwell and the airport road, that entire T, that is a very good place for such development to happen.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, Mangalore is the only city in India. I mean, like, I don't know, I'm just calling it out because whichever city I've traveled, I try to analyze this. Is the only city where there are 3 good roads connecting to airport from the city.
Yeah.
Right? You have 3 very good roads, all double roads connecting to the city, to airport, right?
Yeah.
So all these roads are actually potential for such development, which is untapped.
Bangalore like surprises me in terms of roads. Every location in Bangalore is so well connected by roads. Like I'm 5 years in Bangalore now, 4 years. I still am surprised by new areas that I find and how well connected these areas are.
Yeah. I think connectivity not just within the city but even elsewhere, because I think Mangalore is one place that we have all 4 modes of. Yeah, and I think it's just a matter of time where we utilize it properly. I think and making sure that we bring the right resources and the right place.
Yeah.
I think, but I'm just trying to think, like, if we had to, considering we can directly talk to the folks who are listening, right? What do you have to say to people who are looking at considering Mangalore as one of their bases? Because now that you all have already experienced so many companies coming in here, what is that you all would tell them?
For individuals or for companies?
For companies.
Companies. I think what I would like to tell companies is if you're not tapping on this potential, you're missing out.
Exactly.
It's almost a FOMO. Right? There is the quality of talent that is available is great. The quality of work that we can do is great. There are so many subsidies available. In fact, it is time that companies make use of these subsidies, because we are living in a time the geopolitical scenarios are changing so much. You might as well be in a city which optimizes your operational costs, and where the government is supporting you to kind of optimize your operational costs. And from individuals' perspective, and I think this is, I'm not preaching here, this is, I was the big city guy that made the move to a tier 2 city. My concern was always the social life.
Yeah.
But I can claim that if you're the kind who likes music, there's so many options here. If you're the who likes adventure, there are so many things to do. If we just literally have the best beaches. In fact, what I understand from the chief secretary was when we were, I think one of the discussions is that the Mangalore beaches have the same clearances as Goa beaches.
Exactly, because
for commercial practices. I think but it is a chicken and egg story, right? People will start investing in the beaches and thing as they see more people coming in. But for both companies, if you're not coming to Mangaluru soon, you're definitely missing out. And for people, there are already so much to do here. There's great jobs, great opportunities, and a great social life and a great work-life harmony.
Exactly.
Ash, do you want to add on something to what Shashir told?
Well, I think, I first of all, I echo what he said, right? And the other thing is, there was this perception that, Mangalore is not a fun city. Right now, we're past that.
Yeah.
It's not a ghost city anymore. It's a very lively city.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the complaints that people in big cities says, hey, Mangalore restaurants and pubs close at 11 p.m. Why can't you extend till 1, 2 p.m., right?
You should party with us.
Exactly, you should party with us. I had this discussion with Captain Rijesh, our MP. I said, what will it take to get? He said, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
We have the permission to do that. The problem is people, we need enough people to support that.
I think it's just awareness.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Because otherwise, in the state government, it's already approved that 1 a.m., I believe.
Right? Government is approved it for 5 cities.
Yeah. And I don't see any concern there. And I think pretty much our social life is, there's all different categories that we can have over here.
And also, tell me any other city, maybe there are a few, right? Which has beaches, good hill stations,
Yeah.
in a driving distance.
I think there
How long does it take to go to any of the closest hill station here?
3 hours. Just 3 hours.
and I think selling Goa is only 4.5 hours. And then we have a Vande Bharat.
I
Vande
know.
Bharat,
Yeah, that's true. And the roads are pretty good too.
It's pretty good.
Totally.
And I think the entire stretch over here, Mangaluru all the way till like Karwar and Goa, I think there are a lot of good resorts and, that entire difference that we can have, I mean, which we don't get in other metro cities, is what we can have over here in Bangalore because the
Right
balance is much better.
Yeah.
And the concern that most people had that, if I move to Mangalore, will my partner also...
Right.
I don't see that being a concern at this point because there's a lot of shift that has happened.
Right.
So I think that's also solved.
For budding entrepreneurs
as
well. I think, again, just to put some numbers in perspective, the Karnataka government also has a program called Elevate. Elevate is where if you have the right ideas, they fund up to 50 lakhs.
Okay.
And this is for any startup in this region. In fact, in this year, 11 startups, Mangaluru won 11 or 12.
Okay.
And they got funding right from some got 10 lakhs, some got 15, some got 35. So this is not only for established companies. Even if you're a budding entrepreneur and you want the right ecosystem to start, we, like you said, we have incubations, we have bigger companies, people from Thai actually mentoring. There is Thai Angels, which actually supports.
So Thai is a Mangalore-based
it's an international organization.
international. I had a chapter here at Mangalore. What do they do exactly?
So the Thai, actually, the full form is in this entrepreneurs, right? So
In this
IND-US, Indian US entrepreneurs.
Okay.
This entrepreneurs. That's what the form is. The vision of Thai is to foster entrepreneurship because you need to solve for both things, right? While the bigger companies will come here when you want to kind of tap for talent. But bigger companies also come here because there is also a nice ecosystem of startups. Yeah, because you can get ready-made talent as well, right?
Yeah.
So it is very important to kind of solve for both at the same time. These have to run parallelly.
Yeah.
So Thai has a program called Thai Mentorship. This is actually being driven by Suyog at this point in time, where founders, people who've been successful in running companies in Mangaluru, are actually mentoring companies.
Like startups.
And this is over and above the incubation center. Right. So you get your support and funds from the incubation center, but there is so much government funds available. See, the big challenge that we do is how do you raise capital, right?
Yeah.
And we always think you have to borrow, but there are government funds available to good ideas and good products and good solutions. So somebody needs to kind of guide and mentor them.
Do they facilitate the process?
Yeah. Okay. So I think 11 to 12 startups won. This is the first time in Mangaluru that 12 startups won because we've had, like, if you heard of Micro Degree, they're one of the first companies to actually
local language.
They teach tech in local languages. They were one of the first few to win.
Yeah.
So when Thai started some years back, or even the other entrepreneurship programs that started some years back, there were one or two names that had won Elevate, right?
Yeah.
But now we have so many case studies to kind of talk about. Sorry, I think you were trying.
No, that's right, because and it's not just IT, right? And
it's not any startups.
I mean,
we have an agri startup, Black Frog, right? We have an agri startup. We have Canara Farms, which is again a agri startup. In fact, Canara Farms is actually raising a round here where local investors, the local HNIs are actually looking at investing because the model is really good. We may have the highest number of HNIs for a density of HNIs here, right? Now, and so there is capital in this region. We just need to show them a pathway to how we could help them kind of invest in startups, recover the money over a period of time. So there is a forum that is being created where startups from this region are actually presenting to HNIs. And people like the ideas, they actually invest. So that's what I was saying. We're looking at some of these companies like Canara Farms, Black Frog, and Coach Buddy, and some of them to kind of see if they want to raise funds. So they were given a platform to
basically present their pitch. And how often does this happen?
This happens, it's a monthly activity. So the mentorship program, it happens every 6 months. So it's actually a program. So there is... the first we started with 3 companies. This year we have 4. We're going to have, not this year, sorry. Every 3 months we take a new batch in.
Okay.
And in fact, this matching of HNI with the startups, right? It's not, every organization is doing that. For example, KCCI had a event in February where along with the Vishwas,
The subcommittee.
committee, they actually had a program where they had this startups coming in presenting their ideas, and then we had some HNIs who were there and who were actually interested. And just to like you said, most HNIs in Mangalore are used to invest in real estate, right? I mean, that's been our go-to thing for investment.
Yeah.
But what the group is doing, especially Thai and all other groups are doing, is telling them that think beyond that. One of the big thing is the startup ecosystem, right? You help, you fund that, and that is what was missing here. I think that's become very prominent now in the last couple of years.
Ashith, we were talking about so many different IT companies now. We have about 240 companies, right? So what are the different types of IT companies that are there here in Mangalore at the moment?
See, about 5 years back, it was predominantly BPOs.
Okay.
Right? Well, back
Yeah.
back in office.
What do you mean by a BPO?
It's business process outsourcing. Basically, these are like back-end offices, right? For example, there might be a large insurance company in US. They have to process their documentation, and that will be done here, in Mangalore. So, a lot of BPOs in the past, but now we see a lot of product companies coming in. We see a lot of services companies also coming in.
Yeah.
And we also have GCCs, that global captive centers, right? So basically,
Can you give me one example?
like ours is GCC.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we are a small company, but still our parent company is US based.
Okay.
But here's the capability center here in India, who is supporting both US clients, Europe clients, and Asia clients. So
Okay.
it's like a GCC. It's a
Sometimes it's internal, right? So, for example, EG.
Mhm.
EG is it's like a global capability center, right? So what the team here does is it supports their teams globally.
Right.
So instead of expanding in those geographies, you actually move a lot of those jobs here. It's almost like outsourcing, right? But it's the teams here are not necessarily serving other customers, but they could be serving internal customers.
Internal. Okay.
So there are homegrown services companies
Okay.
like Niveus, Novigo, Codecraft, and all very big ones. There are homegrown product companies, Mangalore based, which some smaller companies. I mean, size of maybe 30 to 50 or 100 people.
Okay.
They make specialized products for a lot of these manufacturing companies. Like for example, there's a company called Prasanna Technologies.
Yeah.
Who built software for all these power distribution companies in India, right? So they're one of the leaders. There's a company called Winman Software who actually is the highest used software for GST, for chartered accountants to file their GSTs and all that.
GSTs.
So a lot of these such product companies are there. Then there are like GCCs like ours, like I said, and then there are also large service companies who set up office here. For example, Tech Mahindra, Cognizant, Infosys.
Emphasis is here.
Emphasis.
Hexaware is here. Right? Hexaware recently acquired a company called Online Mortgage.
Various types of companies.
And what are the other types of companies you think have potential to grow here?
I think one thing that we're missing is, what I would really like to see is, in next couple of years, I want to see at least one Big Four here, or the Big Four plus Accenture kind of thing. Like you have the KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, and Accenture kind of companies, right? You want at least one of those here to create a brand, because of course, Infosys here, but Infosys is much.
What is stopping them from?
I mean, like I said, last time when we spoke, reached out to a couple of them, it was more of infrastructure issue.
Okay.
But now we are solving that problem. I think now it's all about having that push from here. So one of the things we were discussing with the British Shortage, to be the face of this whole drive.
Yeah.
Go to Bangalore and we all try and meet all this or have a session with all these big companies and tell them what Mangalore can offer. And basically,
what do you mean by a session with these companies? As like a conclave?
I wouldn't call it a conclave, because conclave is something big. I would call it more like a focused, supply demand, kind of,
like more like a round table.
Round tables, very focused.
Selected companies. Maybe. Try and understand, try to bridge that gap.
Right. Okay. Because like Shashir said, right, a lot of these companies, there are a lot of top level people from Mangalore.
And plus, this is our best time to pitch to Deloitte.
Yeah.
Both the CEO and CEO actually have origins in Mangalore.
Yeah.
Have you already done that?
Yeah.
Somebody must have.
They've already
I think if it is not, Maybe it is time for you all to do it.
That's already,
I think
In clusters.
it's already doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
so. We have an annual event called the Technovaganza,
Okay.
which happens.
What happened? Yeah.
It's a 2-day IT conclave where they invite. In fact, I think it's the point that he's making is you actually like have a team that showcases the capabilities in Mangalore in a event format, right?
Right.
So Technovaganza is one of the events where we actually invite them to Mangalore.
Okay. And during which time of the year does this happen?
November is when this happens every
7th September.
It's in September.
Okay. Okay.
So you kind of invite industry leaders to come and speak. So it has industry leaders, it has venture capital funds, and then it has leaders from here who also get a thing. And then there is a pitch event where startups give a chance to showcase their capabilities and work. So it happens every year. It's an annual.
And it's a government initiative.
It's a career
initiative.
They do in all these clusters that I spoke about. They do
Okay.
that, yeah.
So it's like a 2D event, you said.
event. Yeah.
Okay. So here we actually try to showcase what is there so that we can bring in more investments.
It's almost like storytelling. We tell our story to the world
Right.
using that platform.
Yeah. And I think with all these festivals that you just mentioned, there are so many activities that you can do outside of office.
Yeah, of course.
So how do you all like provide that kind of facility to your office teams? Like in terms of offsites, do you all have segments that you don't necessarily have to work in the office all 5 days a week? And what is that something that you do very differently compared to any other company?
Well, I don't know if it's different from other company, but yeah, we try to do whatever we can to keep that motivation level high.
Yeah.
One simple thing I do is, for example, every quarter we go out for dinner. Then also we have like offsite once a year at least. There are a lot of opportunity to do that, right? We can do beach activities, or we can do hill station activities, or or we can trekking, whatever, right? So there are a lot of options.
Yeah, actually. And with, I think the kind of spread that we have, that I don't see any other city have it, because every time I've traveled outside and I always notice that when they say, oh, where are you from? And you're from Mangaluru. First thing they talk about is food and ice cream, because Mangalore is also known as the ice cream capital of India.
Right.
And we have some of the best ones which are globally recognized. So what's one of your favorite ice creams here, if I may ask?
Mine is the natural chocobite.
I think for me, all my life, I was an American coconut girl from Papa's.
Yeah.
And just recently, my mom decided to sneak in this special gadbad. And since then, I've become the special gadbad girl. And it's a massive ice cream and I can empty the whole damn thing. And I think it's every Mangalorean household, right? Like, I think Papa's and natural Sundays now that we have.
That is what I mean. That's the only natural Sunday in the world, right?
Yeah, in the world, exactly. Yeah. I don't think anybody, although it started in Bombay, but their origin is from Mangalore.
Brought them here.
Yeah. And the Bonda factory.
Now, if you see, even in last year, Tatas, we saw Kantara has brought a different dimension now.
Yes.
Right? The
Yeah,
cultural
the
aspect
culture.
and the Kambala and all that is
Yeah.
now people asking for that.
It's a part actually. In fact, whenever customers come, they ask, "Wo Kantara kaha hota hai?" Right? Like there is the customers when they come here, there's so much curiosity after Kantara, right? Because I think they've done a great job projecting our rituals and traditions to the world in a way that has been very nicely accepted.
Right.
So what's one thing that you guys do to unwind in Mangalore?
So I think there are two things that I used to do when I was in Mangalore. It was a part of my ritual. I used to play cricket over the weekend. There's a big cricket culture there. But for Niveus, there are so many talented cricketers, they put me out of the team. We have a very good cricket team. And one of the days is for adventure activities. I say sports because I don't do cricket now. I do either badminton, I go to the beach, stand up paddle.
Yeah.
Or just play something by the beach, a game of football by the beach or something like that.
So I think with this, we see that how we can have like a really balanced life on everyday basis as well. Because
Really, yeah.
forget the weekends, right? Like even the weekdays,
Time you get to spend.
Exactly.
I mean, for me, I go home for lunch.
which probably you wouldn't otherwise do it.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if I was in a big city, how can I do that, right?
No, but yeah,
Yeah.
Mangalore really gives you that relaxed setup where, the commuting becomes very easy. You can go to your office, come home for lunch, have a tea, coffee, and then head back and then come back again. So I think that commuting is something that we all see. I think the most important thing is that we get enough time for ourselves. So I would say that if you are listening to this from one of the cubicles in one of the metro cities, I think, when you think about 8 kilometers would be more than 2 hours for Bangalore.
Right.
Yeah. Recently I was in Bangalore and it took so long to reach point A to point B. Here, I think sitting over here, we would catch the sunset and finish our work in less than an hour, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't take us more than 25 minutes to reach. the closest beach.
Right.
So I think that definitely helps us have a more balanced life on everyday basis.
Right.
And I think that's where we are, and looking forward to having more such companies coming here, I think. So
We can review this conversation again after a few years and see
where we are. And we reached, I think, we spoke about
A few years, next year only. I think significant changes in 1 year.
Yeah. And we already had that. And I see that we are growing year on year. So I think looking forward to reaching that 2030 target that we have.
Yeah. There's a nice, I think Rohith can rattle out that number.
We will be having Rohith coming on board very shortly.
He can rattle much because he has presented a few times in Silicon Beach.
It was a great conversation with the two of you. Thank you so much. And we'll keep catching up again.
Of course.
So we have the OGs, Rohith Bhat, founder of wrkwrk, 99 Games and Robosoft. Safe to say that you may be called as Gamer Dad. And we have Anand Pai, one of the oldest family-run businesses, which has its venture in all businesses, all different fields. A car enthusiast, which not many people know of. And the current president of Canada Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Thank you.
So just to understand, Anand, you are a car enthusiast, which not many people know of. Can you tell me what do you do on a weekend?
We have beautiful roads. We have beautiful destination around Mangalore. We have Maruvante. We have Agumbe Ghats. We have, we can go to Sakleshpur. We can go to Madikeri, the beautiful destinations. I just would like to take out my car with my family, just drive, unwind myself and come back home. That's my favorite thing that I do.
And all of this is just within 2.5 hours away, right? And I think that's one of the best thing that we can think about when it comes to having anybody move to Mangalore, or even for us.
Sure.
We have the beaches and the hills.
And it's funny, once, one of my friends from Bombay was here, and I just bought my brand new Jaguar. So I was driving from Mangalore to Udupi. And, on the way he said, Rohith, it is not that you bought this car, but you have a road to drive it.
Yep.
So, in cities, even if you buy a brand new car, you don't have the roads to drive it. But here, if you buy a super car or a super bike, we have the roads to
And I
drive it.
think that's something that we don't get in most of the metro cities, I would say. We just had Shashir and Ashith in the previous segment, and we spoke a lot about Silicon Beach program. And while we were discussing, they said that Rohith is the best person to take us through it. And now that we have you here, Rohith, if you could just walk us through what is Silicon Beach program, and I understand that you are the founding president of the program and also the convener. So if you could just brief us to give us a better idea into it.
Yeah, Silicon Beach program is it's a framework, which is about building the future while preserving our culture without destroying the nature.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about, giving a technology focused growth to the region. It's a tech focused, growth. And it's a very simple premise. We have a lot of education institute, highly educated, population, a wonderful life here. Okay, very strong diaspora. So, we've got almost everything that you need to make it a very strong IT hub.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But, there is this lack of, an initiative or a lack of will or, a lack of belief in, trying to make that happen. So, what Silicon Beach program does it tries to demystify the entire, problem. And, it helps, people to consider this, this region, which we call as the Silicon Beach of India.
Yeah.
And, look at coming down here and, either start up here, set up a small satellite office here, or, even, set up larger offices here. And, Silicon Beach program will help each of these entities who want to come to this region and start something, okay, in whatever form, okay. It helps them with the transition management, it helps with the guidance, and it helps with all the resources that they need to become a successful business in this region. So in a nutshell, that's what, Silicon Beach program does.
So more like a facilitator.
It's a facilitator, and it's a Section 8 organization, non-profit, Anand, me, a few others, got together and put it all together because, we love this region.
Yeah.
We believe in the potential of the region. Okay. And we think it can be a great growth center, for not just for the region, even for the country. Okay. At the moment, what's happening is after education, kids generally, go out because there's a lack of opportunities here. How to bring those opportunities back?
Yeah.
Okay. And that is a noble cause that, we are all choosing. And, when you're on that mission, how do you make it easy for inviting companies here and making it easy for them to set up here and thrive here?
Also while retaining the resources here as well.
Yes. When you create the opportunities, our talent stays where it belongs. Okay. Right now we export talent.
Yeah.
We want to reverse that and we want to export value.
And we're a very culture rich and resources rich city.
Yeah.
I think this platform will definitely help us portray ourselves in a much better light, I would say.
Yes. One is that. The second thing is, Athmika, we are trying to brand this region also in some way. And, the inspiration for the name is more about, Bangalore is always called as the Silicon Valley of India. Okay. We are very close to Bangalore,
Yes.
Just, I think, a couple of 100 kilometers.
Yeah.
And, we have got beautiful beaches.
Correct.
Okay. We have got the talent, we have got education institute. We got everything. We got all the raw, the ingredients that require to become a technology hub. And, if we can, kind of create that impetus to, move here, and I think it will be a great hub.
Any particular instance that you may have to tell us about any particular company or a startup that must have used this facility? Or is it just in the
This is, very, very
recent phase?
It's a recent phase. And, it's, there is a genesis to it. The whole idea is, how do we create a program, that helps, in this. So some of this, the origins, start, I was running earlier a company called as Robosoft, which I sold in 2021. And post that I was thinking, okay, now I had made a small fortune here. How do I give back to this region? Okay. And, we were all sitting together at one of the IT shows in Mangalore called Technovanza. And some of these people like Mondas Pai, BV Naidu and all, they said, look, Rohith, why don't you do something about, this, take some kind of a leadership, in this initiative. So, and, try to be the evangelist, for this region. And, till then, it was all about me and my work. I used to never, come out and do anything because, when you're running businesses, you rarely get time to do anything else. And that's how it started, with just, one, thought of, okay, let us give back to the region. And, I always believe that the best way of giving back to the region, which we all believe in, is by creating opportunities. You can donate to a certain cause, but, if you create employment opportunities, that, it has a massive, massive effect on
our economy,
lives, okay, our culture, it stays. So it started from there.
Okay. I think it's very interesting how I see that the initiatives are all towards giving back to our region, which in turn will be of help to everybody. I mean, it's the talent over here, because otherwise what I understand is when I was in college, there's a question every time when you're in your final year, right? What are you doing next? Everybody is talking about moving out of your city.
Yeah.
Why? Immediately it's like, what opportunities do we have over here? The standard of living, all of that was being questioned back in 2010, right? Now when you see it, everybody has so much of opportunities because each of these colleges and institutions provide incubation centers, those facilities that are provided. The entrepreneurial spirit is already there in Mangalore, yes. So everybody has, and we already have so many schemes and initiatives that are being provided. I think now we see a lot of retention of resources here in Mangalore than at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think you will be the best person to tell us how does it work in a company. I'm sure, what is the approximate number of staff that you may have?
Yeah, in Robosoft, we had around 1,000 plus, people.
And are they all Mangaloreans or?
No, from in and around the region.
Okay.
And, we had an office in Bangalore as well. Around 200 people were there in Bangalore.
Okay.
But, mostly it is, people from in and around this region. Undivided Dakshina Kannada, maybe North Kannada, maybe Shimoga, those kind of places. But largely from this region.
And how is it in terms of retaining the resources?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's a nice, interesting story. We told me once, we should.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's already a story behind that I'm missing out on.
Yeah. So, this started, I think, sometime in 1998.
Okay.
I think Robosoft, we had just, come down to this region. I initially started it in Bombay in 96.
Okay.
Came down to NITK step in 98. And then, I went back to Udupi in 2000.
Can I ask you a question there? You said you started off in Bombay and then you moved here. What was the reason behind moving to Mangaluru?
Yeah, I realized, in the first 2 years of starting my company, which is Robosoft, I had, done multiple interactions with the customer and, we had done the work, sent it to the customer. Okay, we had 2-3, different customers. They were all based in USA and I had not seen them. Okay. And after 2 years of working from Bombay and, working with customers in US and they're not bothered, where am I?
Yeah.
I was thinking, why should, I be in Bombay because I'm from this region and all I need in this business was talent. And, where is the best talent? In our region. So I said, okay, it doesn't matter to my customer, then it shouldn't matter to me. So let me go back to my hometown. It's easier to raise loan and all those things. And I came to NITK step. They are the only place in 98 who had an internet connection. Okay. Nobody else had internet connection in this region. So it was very easy to take that decision.
You said NITK step. What is that?
Step is it's a software technology entrepreneurs park. So it is like an incubation center, which was there in NITK. They had put together a building, but there were no entrepreneurs there. And when I came down here, I realized internet connection is there in NITK. Maybe I should go and ask them to open up the center.
Okay.
So I happened to inaugurate their,
truly one of the 5 steps who brought in IT to Mangalore.
Yeah. Then, a funny story was, they had a huge computer center and, probably 400, 500 people, students would, sit there. And I wouldn't get the bandwidth to export my software when so many students were there. So I'd wait till midnight, around 1 o'clock, they close the center. At that time, I sit and export all of the software. So that is how you do jugaad and you do hustling to, get your startup, up. And then after that, a lot of hustle. I think every startup is
certainly,
it's hustle. Then after 2 years, my 3 people team became 22 people. I went to Udupi because in NITK step, I outgrew it. And in Udupi, I had a 50 people setup. And I remember even now, our people standing in one end of the corridor and looking at them and saying, "Oh my God, it's such a big office." Office was just 3,000 square feet, but when you are very small, everything looks big. And that was the early stages of Robosoft. We were trying to start a IT company in Udupi, and so many disbelievers, right? Because back then people would think, after engineering, you just go to Bombay or Bangalore.
Some software professional jobs.
Yeah. So we started building very, very high tech work setting in Udupi. And slowly, 30 people become 50 people, 50 people became 100 people. We would lose a lot of people, but more people would join in. So all those things would happen. And that's when we realized, Athmika, about, the importance of, branding and all. So, we started heavily branding our company. Luckily for us, our company used to send engineers abroad for, co-working and all. And we used to take out an ad in our newspapers. Okay, which every time somebody would go abroad, Taiwan, USA, Japan, and any place, we would take out an ad in Udayavani saying that, these people are gone. And that became a, kind of like a brand in the local region. If you want to go abroad, go into Robosoft. Yeah. So that's where I realized the importance of branding. Then, this whole Silicon Beach, thought also, came up, during that time. And one thing went to other. It was difficult because very few IT companies were back in that time. And we went on growing, and in 2021 I got an opportunity to sell that company to a Japanese company, which I did. But I think the biggest change for our region was when COVID happened, and more than 100,000 people came back to our region and started working here. Okay, till then we used to always face this oh, you're not based in Bangalore, you're not based in a city, kind of a challenge. But when COVID happened and more than, I think, 1.5 lakh people came to our region and started working from there, and everything functioned seamlessly.
Okay.
We knew that geographies really are, don't make
Not a hassle.
Yeah, not a hassle at all.
Not a hindrance.
And, not a hindrance. And, if there was one reason why people were not coming, in that also is, gone.
Yeah.
So, and after 2021, I'm sure that, this region just needs some branding, still needs some, work to constantly say that IT is happening here, IT is happening.
Visibility is required.
Yes, visibility.
It comes to a question where, I want to understand, you said 1998, right? And now, so from that time to now, what are the changes in terms of setting up of an IT company here? Do you see the evolution of IT?
Yeah.
Being in the forefront of establishing IT here in Mangaluru, I want to know what is the changes and how easy or business friendly is it right now?
Yeah, it's extremely friendlier. I would say it's not easy. It's not easy still.
Yeah.
But when I started to get a phone connection, took me 45 days. Now you get a phone connection in 45 seconds.
Yeah,
it's another time. But more than that, there are a lot of government incentives, grants, that are available now for new startups to have that initial pool of money to get going.
Yeah.
Okay. Plus, in this region now there are multiple companies. Right now we've got more than 225 companies, IT companies in our region now.
Yeah.
A little known fact. Okay. And there are forums like TIE, the Indus Entrepreneurs, which is like a body for where seasoned entrepreneurs help upcoming entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like telling upcoming entrepreneurs, hey, you guys, you're not alone. There is we're all there around you, and we are available for mentorship, we are available for funding. So those are these kind of bodies that are coming up in this region, which is very helpful for startups.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of these forums or platforms, I think, right now.
Yeah.
And we see that that change has happened, and it's been a good progress.
Yes, definitely.
With TIE, I think even Shashir mentioned about a couple of initiatives where a lot of companies, I believe about 10, 12 companies had the startup funding opportunity that has been provided just this year or last year.
Yes, yeah.
And Rohith being the founding president of TIE as well. Can you tell us a little bit about how TIE works?
Yeah. So, TIE has, two kinds of members. One is called as charter members. Charter members are all seasoned entrepreneurs, who have already, spent 15 years, 20 years, who are, executives, CXO level executives in companies. And there are associate members. Associate members are upcoming entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur. Okay. Now, it is a combination where we tell aspiring entrepreneurs, hey, look, if you need any guidance, you need mentoring, you support, you just need a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever it is, come and join this forum. Okay, because there are a seasoned entrepreneur waiting to help you. If you have a problem, if you need some guidance, just drop by. And we conduct this regularly, 2-3 times in a month. And people just turn up with their problems and tell, hey, look, this, we are not getting benefit from this scheme, or this thing, I just lost my co-founder, those kind of things. And, because others have already gone through all this, kind of hassles, we try to give them guidance on, what can be done next. Okay, oftentimes, Athmika, they know how to solve the problem. They just need to
some reassurance.
Some reassurance, exactly. And that I think is a huge difference back in the day, because when I started, there was no reassurance. It's like you're always going and you're always looking behind all the time, then trying to go forward.
Yeah.
I think, and I think, it's happened to a lot of people who are trying to start up in the early days. And I think now it is a lot more conducive.
So you see a good growth in IT influx into Mangaluru?
Yes, absolutely. See, one of the challenges that we are trying to solve now is, about lateral, talent. Okay, you get a lot of fresh talent in this region, but lateral talent has been a little bit difficult. That lateral talent in the sense, people with 5+ years of experience, would they come back? Now, thanks to, I wouldn't say thanks, but, because of the problems that, that are there in the metros, because in India, when a lot of population goes to the metros, it starts crumbling. It's happening to large cities. It's happening to Bombay. It's happening to Bangalore. It's happening to, NCR. Okay. When that's happening, geographies are irrelevant for, at least 50-60% of the business. And I'm not saying it's irrelevant for everyone.
Yes.
But in tech, definitely there is no reason for you to be in one of these large cities. You can be in a small city like Mangalore with really great connectivity. Okay, you can sit here, build a startup nicely, quietly, focus on what you're doing, and whenever you need funding, go to Bangalore. Okay, whenever you need to hire lateral talent, go to Bangalore and hire and come back. And there are so many people who have graduated from our region in the last 20 years who are looking at coming back. Okay, if we create opportunities for them, they would love to come back.
Yeah. And I think recently there was even a study that was done. Ashith was mentioning about how they did a study of Mangaloreans based out of different parts of the world who are in IT in various levels.
True.
And almost 97% of them had mentioned that they would like to come to Mangaluru and actually set base here.
True.
So we already see the intent is there. It's just a matter of time, I think. And we already see that happening.
Yeah.
You mentioned about in 2021, you sold Robosoft. That also makes me wonder that, otherwise they think in a tier 2 city, it's very difficult to brand your company or to the visibility for your company for global acquisition or anything of that. I don't see any concern that. So in that matter, how did being in Mangalore, did that obstruct you anywhere or was it just an advantage?
Yeah. So, one of the things that we faced, right through our growth was, initially when we were trying to raise funds, back then there were very few companies outside these, metros which are raising, funds. So they said to me, look, if you're in Udupi, you can't raise funds, shift to Bangalore.
Yeah.
Okay. But, we're adamant, we said, okay, we are come this long, we'll be able to get, we raised funds. Okay. Then they said, you must have gotten lucky. Okay, you will not be able to raise a follow-on round. We were able to raise a follow-on round. Okay. After some time, they said, now you can't give exit to your investors. Okay. Back in 21, we gave an exit and not just to any company. It is a company from Japan. It's a, multi-billion-dollar company from Japan that came all the way to Udupi and acquired a company. Okay. So we have, I think, all the things that you say are not possible, has been, made possible. So I think, it's a validation for the region. Yeah. Okay, recently, Niveus also got acquired by NTT Docomo, another Japanese company who seem to have a special liking for a place. Okay.
Yeah.
And, I think probably one of the few tier 2 cities which are given, to, very, very decent size exit and to, Japanese conglomerate. So I'm sure there is more coming soon now.
Definitely. I think certainly will be waiting to hear some news like that. I want to ask you, when all these companies that you mentioned, when they come down to Mangalore, what is one thing that you want to show these members coming to Mangalore? How do you showcase Mangalore?
Yeah, our, like I said, our mantra is we are building a future while preserving our culture without destroying the nature. So, nature, culture, future is
you have a set itinerary.
We have a set itinerary. Okay. We know, when they come in, what to do. Okay. We show them all the work. Okay. Then we take them to some great food.
Which is one of your favorite restaurants here.
Yeah. In Udupi, it is, Timmapas is, it never fails.
Yeah.
Okay. You take somebody there.
Good fish.
Yes,
fish meal.
That's it, Then, the conversation changes. After that, you do
there's no work then.
There's no work.
Me food and...
yeah. So, we had investors and investor board meetings were always a terrible, experience for us. So what I used to do was, one investor liked fish meal, another liked Diana Gadbad. So I would make sure that the first investor goes to Gadbad, and by the time they come to our board meeting, they're in a much more sober mode.
Lighter mode.
Yeah. Then, you do their actual meeting.
But you didn't mention which is your favorite restaurant. You just said you take them to Timmappa.
Yeah.
We still want to know where would you want to go if you had to?
I absolutely love, there's a hotel called Mitra Samaj in Udupi.
Okay.
It's a very small, very small restaurant. I just absolutely love. I'm a vegetarian and Goli Bhaji is a favorite. But it's authentic. I've taken even very big clients. The taste there is amazing. It's a very small place. But I tell them, look, ignore everything, just focus on the food.
Essences with that, right? Local essences with such restaurants.
Yeah. And Anand was telling me about Taj Mahal coffee in Mangaluru, which is a ritual for a lot of people.
Yeah, people begin their day with Taj Mahal coffee.
Do you have one of those rituals?
Yes.
What is your ritual?
See, for me, right from my childhood days, I think Woodlands has been one of our go-to destination. And another ritual for Mangaloreans even today is Sunday, everyone goes to the beach. And they go back to Woodlands.
And also there's an ice cream drive.
Ice cream drive, yeah. And Pabbas is always, our famous, all-time favorite. Gadbad is world famous. Everyone across the globe speaks of Gadbad.
Yeah.
So some of these things, and gyros from Mangalore is something that you will always want to have. So there's some good things around. So
yeah, I think it is a food, it's a culture. Okay, because tech they already see, so they don't really ask us too much, but they're always keen to know. Okay, what makes this region click?
Yeah,
they have seen
and a good work-life balance.
There's a good work-life balance. So they're always keen to understand the other side of the town.
Yeah.
Okay, so that curiosity is what I've seen, and even in now our new avatar as this, either Thai or Silicon Beach program, we host a lot of delegations. Recently a delegation came from France. Okay, the Consul General of France was in our region. Okay, in the morning he went to Manipal just to get a flavor of Manipal. On the way back, we made sure that he stopped by at the Mantra Surf Club. Okay, and he was blown.
Yeah.
Okay, because the beaches out here are like so clean and
pristine.
Pristine. It's a pristine beach.
Mantra Surf Club is one of the pioneers in India. That surfing school in India, and that it's in Mulki, which is about 20 minutes away from.
And we are having the stand-up paddle world.
International Paddle Festival. We have the Indian Open of Surfing.
Correct.
I think with all these delegation that you bring in, they also would like it that where our festivals or activities are going in the global market.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when we got this, guests, and we were giving him the presentation of Silicon Beach program. He said, look, technology and all I understand. Tell me more about your city. Then I told my colleague, look, take him to Pelikola.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got a wonderful zoo, and I have seen that impact when I had taken some of my visitors, back in the day.
Yeah.
They would get to see a tiger so up close. They don't get to see that anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Those, amazing king cobras,
Yeah.
And then we have got cultural center, there's Guttumane there. They get to see all these things. And, they go back and because they live in cities and they, I think you guys are having the best of life here. I don't know what I'm doing in Bangalore. Okay. They literally come back with that feeling. And now if they are not yet ready to say that, we send them to Pabbas.
Yeah.
After that, definitely they say this straight.
Yeah.
We have got this routine.
I think we should do it during Navratri. You can see the tigers up close. We have this.
Yeah, we have Pilivesha. Now I think, Anand, do you want to say what Pilivesha is all about?
Pilivesha is, we wait for Navratri to come, where small kids to even grown-up people, elderly people dress up as tigers and they dance for a particular tune, which it is so, it's so inside you that at times when you hear that tune, your legs start moving by itself. So that's something I think everyone should come and see.
All these are small cultural aspects that I think adds to the essence of our city, which most of I mean, when you think about it, okay, we Mangaloreans might have all these connections and relatability to come back to Mangalore. I understand that with 1,000 plus employees, have you ever experienced a non-Mangalorean wanting to settle down in Mangalore?
Yes, we had, several examples of people from other region when they come here, they really like the culture of the place.
Yeah.
Everybody is polite.
Correct.
Okay, nobody is really, shouting at you. Okay, auto rickshaw drivers are, polite.
Right.
Okay, they speak to you in a very courteous manner. Everyone, you can communicate in multiple languages out here, and nobody really, bothers about it. And it helps that we are such a massive student population here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the regional culture, the people are already used to conversing with students who are, I think, from 35 different countries we are in our region now.
Yeah.
Okay. So they know that it's not about, we can't insist somebody from Malaysia to learn Kannada or learn Tulu and all those things. So they have adjusted, and, I think, that makes it so much more welcoming. This whole place is so much more welcoming.
Yeah. I think there is a good balance that we see in Mangalore, and even with the sports culture right over here. Anand, why don't you tell us a little about, because you also come from the educational background, so now sports has become such an important aspect of the curriculum, and how all these newer sports amenities are here in Mangalore, which Mangaluru right now, the access is much easier. Like in a metro city, to go from point A to point B is only a task. But over here, we don't have to worry about that because the radius over here.
Bangalore is a 15-minute city.
15-minute
city. Yes.
We will want to keep it at that. We shall try.
Yeah, I think most of the schools here, they're trying to inculcate sports fitness in the curriculum.
Yeah.
And we are trying to, identify a skill of a particular student and try to push them towards that particular sport so that they can excel in it.
Yeah.
Right? Now you'll find most of the schools have badminton court, they have swimming pools, they have football field, they have basketball, everything in the school. Whereas the things have evolved. Now we are known as an education hub from the country or even from the world. You have so many NRIs, foreigners coming to Mangalore, they come to Manipal to study. So we have people from everywhere coming here for one particular reason. It's a good full package that they get when they come to Mangalore or Manipal. So I think we have now good talents coming out of Mangalore. KL Rahul is from
representing India.
Representing India in cricket. So there's so many. We have Vandana Schanberg, who was a runner from Mangalore. So athlete from. So there's so many things Mangalore is now having, and good thing is we are now promoting it.
Yes,
that's more important. Earlier it was a struggle for athletes to shine, but now the platform is available. People are aware. The parents and also the teachers, they are making sure that they let anyone and everyone excel in their particular field of interest.
It doesn't, that earlier aspect of you have to only study to reach there, that's not there. Now the balance is there, even in while studying also, like they will be studious maybe or get into some sports. That aspect also is, I think, now very well accepted more than anything else.
And it's very doable, as you said, 15-minute city. People can go and play their sport in like 15 minutes, unlike bigger city where they need to travel for hours just to go and play a 1 hour sport. So here it is just around the corner. You just walk and just have a good time, enjoy your sport and come back.
It's like this, 15 minutes to your airport, 15 minutes to railway station, 15 minutes to your beach, 15 minutes to your office, 15 minutes to your playground. Everything is 15 minutes away.
And see, now that solves another problem that most people speak about, that, if one of the IT professional wants to move to Mangalore, they always think whether their partner will get a job. That's also solved. Then they talk about their children, whether there are enough educational systems. We are an educational hub, and we have earlier the sports was one concern that not many institutions had. But now I think almost all the best institutions have very good facilities in-house. And I think our facilities, even like, the Mangala Stadium and so many other courts that are there, private courts, they're also very well equipped. And I don't see that whole situation where people would worry that if one person moves, the rest cannot. The entire family can move here and have a very good balanced lifestyle.
recently there was a post I had seen on LinkedIn about this lady. She had moved from Gurgaon
Okay.
to Mangalore.
Okay.
Her husband is a Mangalorean, and she had made a post about all the conflicts she had in her mind about making the decision of moving from Gurgaon to Mangalore, and how every one of those conflicts was resolved when she landed here, and started continued with their startup.
So now we have not just Mangaloreans moving back to Mangalore, we also have non-Mangaloreans wanting to move to Mangalore.
Yes.
With that, Anand, like from KCCI, being the president of KCCI, how are we trying to help bring awareness on these various platforms that are there, and what is that we can do? And do you believe that Mangaluru is an ideal destination for any IT company to come set base here?
Definitely, we believe in Bangalore. That's why we are here in Bangalore. That's a best thing. Of course, we all had opportunities to go out, but we stayed back because we love Bangalore, and Bangalore has got a lot to offer. Like Rohith said, how we started Robosoft. If it can be done in early 1998, in today's date, you don't have any issues with bandwidth or anything. So any IT can open up very easily. We do get a lot of inquiries for IT in Bangalore. The major constraint currently that people are facing is space availability. Space availability, infra. It is talent is available. Space is a constraint. But from KCCI, also from other bodies like Red Eye, we are working very closely with the government, and there's an STPI in Mangalore, Software Tech Park. So we are they have something called the Kionics, where they have a big parcel of land available. We are in talks with the government, the concerned people. They're now very open to give it on a PPP model for developing it, for creating space for IT. And apart from that, there are many developers in Mangalore who have, seen this potential that a lot of IT can come to Mangalore, provided we give them good infrastructure. So there are many buildings that are coming up to, support this IT. And I think we're just around the corner. I think in a year or two, I think we should have at least a million square feet of space available for IT.
We see that.
Yes.
What is Kionics, Anand? You just mentioned it's a government body.
It's a government body which is, it's like to help incubate and promote startups. So this is a government initiative. We have the main office in Bangalore, and Bangalore has a very good infrastructure. They also have a land and a small building in Bangalore with a small space available for people to come and start. But that space is not enough. So we from Mangalore, from KCCI and all the IT setup, we reached out saying that now we need more space. And government has identified this, and they are now open to develop this, and it's going to soon happen. And we will see a big building, a nice software tech park coming in Bangalore.
Yeah, shortly, I believe. And also, I think now a lot of private players are also coming into place with a lot of infra. And the whole situation where earlier there were companies inquiring and not having the infrastructure for it is reduced, right?
Yes.
We're already seeing there's wrkwrk, there's Vertex, and there are a lot of companies that are already providing infrastructure right now. And a lot of companies, also private players coming into place. So the infra problem is solved. I don't think that whole thing about thinking that there's no infra if you go to Mangalore is no longer the problem. Now I think they should just inquire and then inform within how many months they want to move to Mangalore.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's how we should see it.
Yes. The infra, problem is, at least the IT infra problem in Mangalore is solved. I think, enough private players also focusing on, changing that. And, I think, we are a region which gave 5 nationalized banks to the country, and none of them waited for the government to come and help them. Government help is all welcome, but I think we are a very entrepreneurial region, and I think now more than ever we need our diaspora to also start believing, because of these are people who have gone out, seen the world, and probably doing wonderfully well in other places. And in all our appeal is to tell, come down to Mangalore, come down to Udupi, come down to Manipal, and we'll help you wherever you are in whatever way we can, so that, your grounding in this region becomes as smooth as
You said
possible.
helping. Is there a platform or a portal where people can approach in case they have an inquiry or, like any kind of query that may be? Is there
Yes,
something that...
there is something called a siliconbeachprogram.com.
Okay.
It's a website,
Okay.
where, there are multiple resources that people can, consume. And if they need any help beyond that, they can reach out to,
Okay.
on that, and, somebody will get back to them and
Okay.
help them, with whatever help they need.
This is with
Setting up the company, anything.
Anything and everything in
Okay.
terms of accommodation to schools available.
Okay.
All the information is available on that.
Okay. So if
Need a
it
job for the spouse,
to Mangalore, that is the website.
that is the website to, take a look at.
Yeah, and in terms of any setup requirement or any assistance required, chamber is always at their access. We are always open. That's why chamber is for to help build our community in terms of business and industries. So that's the only agenda chamber works with.
Yeah. And I think Chamber has tried to facilitate a lot of these inquiries through our KDM, the Beyond Bangalore project as well, right? Because
Yes.
KDM has an office set up over here now in Bangalore.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of inquiries that have come and tried to facilitate that through various co-working space companies as well.
Chamber was one of the first to start a incubation center for software.
Yes.
Yeah.
COL.
Seoul. If you could just tell a little bit about Seoul.
COL, because it's a government initiative, but totally, a struggle from Chamber of Commerce. Our past presidents work very hard to get this done. It is a platform for people to come and start their ventures in a small way. There is space available for them to start their IT setup or whatever kind of startup program they have. So we offered, seats at a very low cost, because for every startup, the major hindrance is the overheads.
Yeah.
And to facilitate that, this offers at not in today's comparison, it's still much smaller, and we want to still expand this setup, because we want to give opportunity to everyone who can who has an idea of startup. So we give them 2 years time to incubate in that center, and then look at giving mentorship and get them investors, and then move them to a bigger setup. Yeah.
Then ask them to open your wings and fly out.
Yes.
Is this facility that is being provided, is it utilized to the best of its abilities? Like it's full capacity. So then
We need space.
we need space. So then we are in the right track for sure.
And that's another misnomer. See, Mangalore already has, more than 25,000 IT professionals working in this region.
You said 25?
25,000,
25.
right? More than 225 companies, 8 companies with more than 1,000 people working here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and probably more than $500 million in value being created. When I say value,
Revenues.
That's all. So it's $500 million.
Yeah.
You're already at $500 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And growing year on year. The vision of Silicon Beach is to be take this, from 25,000 to 200,000 in the next 10 years. Okay. Take the export from, whatever we have now, from $500 million to $5 billion in this time frame.
Okay.
Okay. And I think, we're all working towards that goal of...
That is in the next...
This is in the next 10 years. Next 10 years. Because it is possible.
Yeah.
Number of startups from 200, we want to take it to 4,000.
Yeah.
So we have got all these, numbers in mind, and, working towards that, it's all, all the agencies,
Yeah.
KDM, be it KCCI,
Yeah.
be it CREDI, everybody is in on it and working towards community. Yeah, we're all state bodies. And we are all very welcoming people. Anybody who wants, like Anand said, one of us will help them. All they need to do is, make up their mind.
And just
Reach out.
Yeah, just take the phone and make that call.
Correct.
I think hearing you guys out, like I understand that everybody is walking together towards the common cause, like, creating that visibility for Mangalore, the kind of opportunities that Mangalore has, and how good the city is for, and how ready we are as well, right? Are we the people also ready to make this happen? So I see that you're all ready. You're all walking towards the same cause. Today, if you all have to, voice out to the, IT company owners or founders, what is your message to them? Sitting somewhere listening to us
Yeah.
in some part of the world.
Anand, you go first.
Firstly, welcome.
Please come.
Yeah, please come. It's a beautiful place to live. As Rohith mentioned, 15-minute city. You don't want to be in the traffic all the time. You want to be with your family also.
Yeah.
So the nature is very nice. Good things to do around. Food is good. People are very friendly.
Yeah.
Considered as one of the safest cities in the country. So putting all this in in a nutshell, I think this is a perfect package for everyone to come and be here. Education for their kids. Now, even earlier they had people from outside. They had issues saying that our child goes to an international curriculum. Now we have state syllabus, we have IGCSE, we have ICSE, we have CBSE. You name the curriculum, it's available in all the options are available in Mangalore. So not just as you also mentioned that spouses usually don't get opportunities, but there are ample opportunities for their spouses as well. So I think you need to decide how happy you want to be, and Mangalore is a happy place to be.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a great place to live, work, and play.
Yes, I think it really sums it all because you have everything, a right balance. And with that, I think we can only say that come experiences and you're here to stay.
Yes.
It's been such a wonderful chat with both of you. Thank you, Rohith. Thank you, Anand. And I think you're only going to keep looking forward and growing from here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've had legacy, we've had innovation. But one thing's clear, Mangaluru isn't waiting anymore. If Mangaluru is ready to be the next big IT tech city, are we the people ready to make it happen? Let's ride the next big wave of Karnataka's IT growth with ocean by our side and opportunity at our feet. Until next time, think coastal, think capable, think Mangaluru.